What is going on, everyone? Platinum Beast coming at you with yet another video. Today we're talking Palladium. Why? Have you seen the spot price? Oh my gosh. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everyone, so today's topic's Palladium. And the reason I chose to talk about Palladium today was because the spot price kind of went nuts in a very short period of time. Now, I'm going to show the chart on the screen for you all to see, but as you can see there, it just shot right up. It went to the moon back in the day about a year ago, and it's going back to the moon. But today I want to talk about Palladium because I don't talk about it a whole lot on my channel mainly because I only have this one small piece of a ½ ounce Palladium. But it's an interesting metal to talk about for sure. So we're going to talk about it today and I'm going to discuss it. So if you take a look at the spot price, it has gone up substantially in a short amount of time, around 250 to 300 bucks, almost overnight it seems. And unfortunately, I still have yet to pick up any new Palladium. I focus mainly on Platinum because I think it is more undervalued than Palladium, if that makes sense. Palladium, we could see $3,000 Palladium. We almost saw it back in the day, but we could see it this year. I don't doubt that at all. Palladium is a very expensive metal, so when I get the opportunity to take my fiat and turn it into a platinum group metal, I typically stick to platinum. I think it is just heavily undervalued, and I think it's more undervalued than Palladium. Now, one thing I want to mention, and I've mentioned it in other videos before, is Palladium and platinum are cousins, siblings, what have you. And because of that, you can, to a certain extent, gauge their prices based on that. Now, one thing I want to talk about is I discussed a recent article talking about platinum mining, right? And not mining stocks or anything like that, but platinum and how it's mined and the process and things like that. I talked a little bit about in one of my previous articles I discussed how when they are mining for platinum in platinum mines, what usually ends up coming out of the ground in a single ore of the metal is about 60% platinum, 30% palladium, and just about 10% rhodium. But we're going to focus on palladium and platinum today, mainly palladium, right? So if the metal coming out of the ground is 60% platinum and 30% palladium, that means that their spot prices, in my opinion, should be close to one another as far as 1-to-2 ratio, right? You should be able to pick up 2 ounces of palladium for every, or 1 ounce of palladium, for every 2 ounces of platinum, if it's a 60-30 ratio, based on ratios coming out of the ground alone. Now, we do know that demand drives price, right? And we know that palladium is used in fossil fuel vehicles, mainly unleaded fuel vehicles, whereas platinum is mainly used in diesel fuel vehicles. I've talked about that many times on my channel. So demand on the industrial side, as well as the investment and jewelry side, can influence prices a little bit. But I think in simple terms, I like to gauge it simply by what's coming out of the ground, because I think both metals are industrial and both are very much needed. Another reason I like platinum more than palladium is because it's not quite as heavily dependent on the industrial side of things. Palladium is 85% mined for its industrial use, 15% investment and jewelry uses. Platinum, on the other hand, is only 40% industrial, 60% investment / jewelry. So it's got a little bit more weight in the investment field and the jewelry field, and that gives me a little bit more comfort in stacking it. Now, I'm not a hater of palladium. I hope to pick up some more one day. Who knows? I'm not one of those people who thinks it's just going to tank and I'll be able to pick up a Palladium Eagle for 500 bucks or something like that. I definitely don't think that at all. And I don't think we'll ever see those prices for Palladium again. I think people have realized the rarity of the metal and the industrial need and things like that. It's just not going to happen. But I kind of want to talk about it because it's interesting because I was not expecting it. It's like overnight, out of nowhere, I noticed on Reddit PMs for sale that someone was selling a Palladium Maple Leaf for below spot, about 50 bucks below spot. And I was like, huh, that's weird, $27.50. And I went and checked the spot price, which I don't follow Palladium spot price that close. And I was like, well, sure enough, about 300 bucks higher than what it has been in recent times. And I just find that very, very interesting, right? Could that be the very beginning of $3,000 Palladium? It very well could be. And if it is, that's awesome, right? If it's not, that's okay too, because I still don't think it's going to tank anywhere near the lows we used to see in many years past. Now, again, we can take a look at the spot prices, and I will show them on the screen as far as platinum and palladium, right? And what we see is platinum is floating around $12.50, maybe a little bit less. And palladium is floating around $27.50, maybe a little bit less. Now, if we double the price of platinum, that equals $2,500. I'm not exactly saying palladium is overpriced. It could be actually the opposite. Platinum is underpriced, right? And that's what I kind of lean more towards. So if you're going to pick up one of these metals right now, I kind of suggest platinum. I think we're going to see a spike. I mean, I know there's going to be people that hold me to it, and if it dips, they're going to be like, oh, you said, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I've said that many times on my channel. But we could see $1,300 platinum once again. And if we do, that would get closer to that half price of palladium. And that's where I think the metals kind of should sit and react to one another. Again, industrial demand and even investment demand can influence prices to skew from that ratio. But I think that's a healthy, safe ratio to be at, right? Definitely different than gold and silver's comparison because those two metals are way more separated on their ratio. But what we can look at is the ratio, and I think it's important to look at that and note the ratio of the metal that is coming out of the ground. The percentages are important. Are they exact science? No, but they are important. So if you were thinking about picking up palladium, you might want to take a closer look at platinum because we could see an increase in spot price that follows palladium's recent overnight spike. Now, when platinum moves, it moves, right? And when it sits, it sits. And when it dips, it doesn't really dip that bad, at least not in any recent times, right? A year ago, yes. March, yes. I know all that. But we haven't, when we see platinum dip, it just doesn't dip that bad. It just doesn't. And palladium, same thing, right? We see palladium dip and everyone's like, oh, here it comes, the $500 palladium spot price. And it sits at its dip for a little while and then it goes back up, right? Platinum, same thing. People see, I made a video talking about how platinum was at $1,300 an ounce spot and it dipped down to 11 something and it's back up to over 12, but it's not quite back to 1,300. But when it dipped to 11 something, people probably were like, oh, here it comes. It's going back down to below 1,000, but it didn't happen, guys. And so I think we really need to pay close attention to the markets and what they are doing at the current time, right? That's one thing I've noticed with platinum and platinum group metals, such as palladium and others, is that when they dip a little bit, they sit there for quite a while, people pick it up, it goes back up, right? And I get the feeling that we're going to see that continuous trend for a while. I don't think that trend is going to stop anytime soon. So at the end of the day, guys, palladium's a solid investment. platinum's a solid investment. Yes, I said the word investment. Some people don't like it. It's okay. We can think differently. But if you were thinking about picking up palladium, again, I highly suggest taking a closer look at platinum and maybe considering it over palladium at the current time, right? It might have been a decent deal to get palladium a week ago. I would sure wish I bought some because it'd be up quite a bit right now. But I didn't because I focused mainly on platinum. So, yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Definitely interesting to see the extreme amount of spot price increase in just a day or two. But let me know what your comments are in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you stack palladium? Do you have any? Are you thinking about picking up platinum? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. A very special thank you to all my loyal followers. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Be sure to check out my other videos. I talk a lot about platinum as well as other precious metals. Welcome any new people to the channel. Glad to have you. Glad you stopped by and decided to check out my channel. With all that being said, guys, until next time, we will see you.